defeated by...
All right, welcome in 98.5, the Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody celebrating. Of course, for those who have served, we are here all night long until 11 o'clock. You're driving, you're hanging, you're in your backyard sipping a beer, you're doing your lawn work. We are here for you at 617-779-0985. We're also on YouTube. So if you're at home and you haven't done it yet, just go on the apps. I have Xfinity. You click apps, you find YouTube, download it, type in 98.5 The Sports Hub, and you can watch live right there from your couch or your comfortable chair. I have a nice leather comfortable chair. Tonight would be a nice night to sit on the back deck and listen to the show. So that's one way you can do it. You can do it on your iPad as well. You can do it on your phone, wherever. We're with you for full coverage of the Celtics series. I got some stuff on the Patriots later on, Bruins as well, some news today. So a ton of stuff, but we're hanging out. It's Memorial Day weekend. I don't know how hot the takes are going to be tonight, not as hot as your grill this weekend. But we're going to have some fun with you, and we'll hang out if you're driving anywhere. My friends from home are already in New Hampshire on the pond, on a boat already, 3 bears deep. And I know everybody else, some people down the Cape, wherever you're going, hang out with us at 617-779-0985. The Celtics are up 2-0. They're up 2-0. Just like they drew it up, right? But the star, no doubt about it, has been Jaylen Brown. He's been so consistent all playoff long. Of course, he had the 40-point game last night. But you know what? Jason Tatum has been the face of the team, the star of the team, the guy who takes the most heat, whether they win or they lose, or most of their questionable decisions all lead back to Jason Tatum. He might be the Batman. Jaylen Brown might be the Robin. I don't care anymore. I don't care. In reality, if I was down at the park, who do I want? Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum? I'd probably take Tatum because he's bigger. But, like, whoever gets the second pick, you're going to get a damn good player. And what you're getting now is a guy that's motivated, determined, experienced, and ready. He's ready to take the next step. And finally, he's always been a good player, always been an all-star. Amongst his peers, though, and writers, couldn't even make all-NBA top 3 teams. That has to be something that would motivate you. That's something that should upset Celtics fans. And they were. I heard you guys out there complaining about it. But one cool thing about him is he has something in his contract where if the team goes to the NBA Finals, he gets paid no matter what. That's a team move, right? This guy's criticized, one of the highest paid players, if not the highest paid player in the NBA at one point, got the Supermax. Really, what were they going to do? What were the Celtics going to do? You had to give him the max. Then you had to have him on the team for one whole year. Things change after this season, and we'll get to all of that later on. But I'm glad he's motivated. I'm glad he has risen to the occasion. He's done it before. It's not his first time. It's just noticeable more now because of the growth, because of checking the boxes, because of some of the struggles of Jason Tatum, for that matter. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Tatum's struggling, but I'll tell you last night was probably his worst night of the playoffs, if you ask me. But he made up for it in the second half. He played well. Everybody wants Jason Tatum to be the star. Nationally, people think they're boring, and he's boring. Some people have called him Wing Tim Duncan. Maybe there is an alpha to this. Maybe Jaylen Brown's the alpha, and that's okay. But you're going to hear something in a little bit regarding something that happened in the past. The Celtics considered moving on from Jaylen Brown at one point. And it was Jason Tatum who stepped in and said, nope, I want to win with this guy. So we'll let you hear that coming up in just a little bit. Again, the phone number here is 617-779-0985. And, just looking at the Celtics and last night, The quote was great. I don't have time. We'll get into that. Jalen played motivated. He had a chip on his shoulder. And it came, of course, after the day he was snubbed. I don't find that as a coincidence whatsoever. And he was motivated. The Celtics certainly benefited from that. Has he reached superstar status? Last night was a superstar game. The first 2 games of this series have been superstar level. 3 at the buzzer, 40-point game. He dropped 24 points in the first half. He's been an outstanding first quarter player. He had 17 points in the second quarter alone. He added 16 more in a half where he finished with 40. His highest scoring game since March 7th, he had 41 against who? Denver earlier this year. So not just any team. Denver he did that against. He did it against the Pacers last night as well. So, you know, the more I look at everything that's happening with Jaylen Brown, this playoffs, he has a career best field goal percentage, 54%. Career best points per game, almost 25 points per game. And what he does in the restricted area has been great. Are there still some slip-ups with turnovers and dribbling and free throws? Yeah. Besides that, he has been the most consistent Boston Celtic. The question is he reaching superstar level? I don't know yet. I don't know that. He's certainly playing like it. Like these numbers in the restricted area, within 10 feet, he's shooting 67% when he's off the dribble. 62%. When he has a defender within 2 to 4 feet from him, he's shooting 53%. When it's late in the shot clock, 7 to 4 seconds, he's shooting 61%. He knows where he is on the court. He knows how to beat his man. He knows how to get to the spots, and he's confident. That's growth. That has been growth. So after dropping the second game of the previous 2 rounds, the Celtics responded in front of their home crowd with a stress-free win. Now up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. They now head to Indianapolis, having won at least 2 road games in 8 of the 9 last series they've played. And here's another stat. Since 1984, Celtics are 22-1 in 7-game series after winning the first 2 games. Teams that win the first 2 games of a best-of-7 series have gone on to win the series 92% of the time. And we'll have an update on Tyrese Halliburton. We also have one on Kristaps Porzingis and Luke Cornett. But there has been a shift. Jaylen Brown. We'll get into all that coming up next. I'm Joe Murray. We got Skaz here as well. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe.
What did you like best about this one?
Yeah, just kind of compete a little more, keep the guys in front. I mean, we want to be a defensive team and start the individual defense. So that was a big improvement and gonna need to be better going forward.
Jaylen Brown, huge once again tonight. You think he was playing with a little extra motivation after the All-NBA snub?
He's unreal. 100% got snubbed. He's been big time for us all year, both sides of the court. Big time snub. I don't get it.
We also got to see a little more of the connection between you and Drew Holiday in that third quarter. How big is it for this team when he's aggressive offensively?
He's been huge for us. I mean, he's a champion. Had so much success in this league, and we never doubt him, and he always just comes through clutch for us.
Finally, you guys went small for a lot of the fourth. What advantages did you find, and is that something you can take into Game 3?
Each game's different, but O'Shea Brissett was so big for us and changed the game for us. And so shout out to Breezy for staying ready. Like, yeah, been playing and all that, but he stayed ready and he was big time for us. So shout out Breezy.
Derek, thank you.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub of Joe Murray. Skaz is here as well. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I know you've already started. Some people banged out at 11 o'clock today. Oh, the old tech world? The reason why I always worked on the day was because you'd wake up, they'd probably get everybody who showed up breakfast, which is like a reason to go to work, let me tell you. And then, you'd make a couple of calls. All of a sudden, nobody was working. Everyone was gone. And then they were like, all right, well, we can't have our sales staff just wasting away here. Everybody go home at 11 o'clock. So that was the best. If you took today off, today's an easy one. No breaks on the night show, though. No breaks. I won't be here Monday night, though, unfortunately, because we have a game. And I'm curious, when I come back on Tuesday, will there still be a series? I'm that confident. I've always been confident. Skaz has always been confident. At the kids' table, we have been confident, okay? Jason Tatum, I couldn't take it. I don't think Skaz could either, and some others. We have support. There's many people against us. I just want you to know they're not wrong either, but we're right too. We are right. Tatum didn't have a great game last night. He didn't. But you know what? I could defend it if you wanted me to. I could defend it. One other thing about Tatum, because this is going to be a Jaylen Brown night. We're going to talk a lot about Jaylen. But it worked when they went with O'Shea Brissett and Jason Tatum at the 5. It works. And I understand Tatum was struggling with his shot. And I'm not giving him excuses. But dude's playing the 5 out there. He's not a big. He's been putting up big rebound numbers, though, all playoffs long. But it was about Jaylen Brown, and you just heard the Derek White clip. That was right after the game. It's funny because I heard it last night. We were in studio. We have the broadcast on, and when I walked into another room, I heard Derek White. I was like, that's great. So I cut that up. We got that ready to go for tonight. But there was a story regarding Jaylen Brown recently that I think some people should know. I watch guys get praised and anointed who I feel like are half as talented as me on the other side of the ball. But at this point in my life, I just embrace it. That was a quote from Jaylen Brown. He explained how a mindset shift coming into the season has impacted him in a positive way. At the end of last year, he said, I think I just developed a mentality where it was like, you just got to keep going. Life, basketball, it's all about how you handle adversity and how you handle your emotions and not defeating yourself or shooting yourself in the foot. You might mess up in a game. Things might not go your way, but don't let that snowball. You got to be able to stop it right there and get back to a positive mindset. That'll help you get back to success. So I want to stop there. Does this sound like a guy who's grown up? Like the Celtics are growing up before our eyes. They still make mistakes. They still sometimes make the same mistakes, but now we're seeing them cross the hurdle. And listen, I know the hurdle is winning a championship. Today I heard on some broadcasts that why praise the Celtics for anything. I'm praising them for growth. Jaylen Brown's growth. People have anointed Jason Tatum the next one, the face of the franchise. When something goes wrong, what's the first thing people say? It's either Tatum's fault or they got to trade Brown. Watching Jaylen Brown elevate to superstar status, that's growth. People know he's a great player. He might be one of the best two-way players in the NBA, and he wasn't acknowledged for it. So I can see his motivations there. But I do think you should applaud progression and growth. I think that's something that you should give flowers to. Now, this team won't get it until they win a championship. But as far as Jaylen Brown's career after being booed on draft night, after last year in the conference finals, dribbling the ball, not using his left hand, and being embarrassed, this is his mindset this year? Growth. On Tuesday night, things weren't going great. This is Jaylen Brown, but I never said it was over until it was over. I was able to help my team win the game. Like hearing him say that, that's growth. Brown also said he's done a better job blocking out external criticism and pressure this season. And is just trying to meet the high expectations he already has for himself. Quote, I feel a lot less pressure, externally at least. I've always had internal pressure because I expect great things for myself. But I think this year I feel a lot less external pressure than I've ever have. Just living in the moment, taking it one game at a time, and not adding unnecessary pressure that is already not needed. It's you versus you at the end of the day. Whoa! Whoa! Growth. The outside pressure and noise has affected me a lot less. I know there's a lot of expectations on myself. There's a lot of expectations on our season and us. All I can do is the best version of myself and come out and play free. Play aggressive and let the chips fall where they may. Ho-hum Brown is averaging 23.4 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, 2.7 assists per game, shooting 55% from the field in the playoffs so far. His defense has been absolutely fantastic. And one other thing I wanted to mention is last night in that game, they won a nice little 17-0 run to start the second quarter. They won by 16. It was the difference in the game. He started it all. He was the ringleader. They followed him last night. Just like some nights they follow Jason Tatum. They both are superstars. I've always wanted Jaylen Brown to get to this level. Mentally, I think he's there. I do think he's the alpha. I don't think there's anything wrong with one alpha, one not. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's no doubt about it. They're not going to win a championship this year without both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But Jaylen Brown playing like this puts them up even a notch ahead of where they ever were. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. We'll get to the phones right away. I know there's some people on here who want to get on. But Skaz, anything you wanted to add, man, about those Jaylen Brown comments? I mean, he looks locked in, looks focused, outside noise. Maybe the shift he's needed all along was not listening to the haters. And I think he's realized the fight he's been fighting in his career is against himself and his own expectations. And it's not mentioned here, but I think the less pressure that he's had, I think the Celtics and Brad Stevens know that. That's why they helped him out. They had insurance for both of these guys this year. So I'm seeing growth, Skaz, and I'm going to celebrate that. So I'm not giving them their flowers yet, but man, this is a different basketball team.
Yeah, and I think Derek White and Drew Holiday have a lot to do with that. Jaylen is still taking on a lot of responsibility defensively, but I think because of Holiday and White, you're getting a better Jaylen Brown as well. It's just the spacing. There's more weapons on the floor. There's more guys that can score at any moment. So, yeah, this is the Jaylen Brown that when they gave him the contract, people were almost complaining they weren't seeing enough. I didn't see anybody tweeting about his contract last night. And with the money that's coming to the NBA, I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about that going forward.
You just mentioned the contract. My life would be a lot easier. The distractions that go on every single day would be a lot easier if I had $300 million. I'm just putting that out there right now. My, couple more sales guys, and then my life would be really happy. We'll take the Joe and Skaz show on the road. That'll make us really happy. So I will say that $300 million can really change a person, huh? It's made Jaylen Brown a better basketball player. Who would have thought? 617-779-0985. We got Eric in Boston. Eric.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So listen,
going?
after the game yesterday, I'm all right. After the game yesterday, I immediately went looking for, the Nationals because kind of felt like this was going to turn into a cup. The Celtics have a cupcake walk, and I feel like they just want to take it from the Celtics where all the injuries that are going on. But I actually feel like this is a testament to the Celtics. We're just better than you. We won a lot of games by 20-plus points in the season. We were able to rest our guys. The season was pretty much done for us a month earlier, so we were able to rest our guys. And we're winning these series in 5 games, which means we're able to rest our guys. So we're not seeing the injuries that teams have with the Donovan Mitchells and the Tyrese Halliburtons and Jalen Brunsons, because they got to run those guys 45 minutes and play a full season to get to their spots. This is a testament to just how good the Celtics are. I don't think it's luck. We're just betting.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Were you the Eric that called the other night that I flipped out on?
I did. Yep. I'm going to let that one go, but you were wrong.
I was wrong?
Yeah. We were talking about Joe Mazzulla and who was a better coach that night.
So, okay, let's ask the question again. Through 2 games.
We don't have to go back here. Okay, so fine. Joe Mazzulla is a better coach after 2 games. After the first game, not so much.
Okay, but after 2, you admit it.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with
but just real quick, where was I wrong?
In real time, once again, if that game in real time wasn't frustrating with Hauser and Pritchard both on the court getting lit up, for you to say that was fantastic and he does a great job, that wasn't true.
Okay, where are you from in Boston, Eric?
Roxbury.
You're a Roxbury guy. I'm a Hyde Park guy.
I am.
I feel like you and I would have played ball at the Reggie Lewis Center or something and chirped at each other all day long.
Absolutely.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. All right.
I just know that me and that guy would sit at the park all day long and just chirp it up. I actually like it. I like that.
Yeah, and I think he brought up a good point too with the health thing. It's almost something we take for granted because Brown and Tatum have been so consistently healthy. They've had small things here and there.
Talk about that. Brown's had knee.
No, they've had their issues, and Tatum's had a wrist thing. He's had a couple, ankles here. I
wonder if a long season is something to keep an eye on with Tatum. But go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, I think since he's entered the league, he's played the most minutes by a wide margin. But these guys, look at Philly, look at Damian Lillard, look at Giannis, Durant, his whole career,
Kyrie, all these guys.
It's almost something that we've taken for granted that these guys are here every single. They play more games than anybody, and they're still holding up playing these games. And obviously, you get a day break in the playoffs. You don't really see too many injuries in the playoffs, but just these 2 guys being there every single year, I do think is taken for granted a little bit.
So I wanted to look it up. Per game. So he, as far as looking per game, he has had 2 seasons of 57-58. This year he played 70 games. Does that seem right? Yeah, he probably sat out 12 games, I bet. 67 the year before, 66. So, I guess those are pretty normal. But the 2 years he was dealing with a knee. And then last year in the playoffs, he had the hand on the mysterious plant spraying.
Yeah, so the last 7 years, only one player has played more minutes than Tatum in the entire league, and it's DeMar DeRozan, a guy that's just out there every single night.
That guy's a beast. We talked about him off the air a couple. He's like that the guy who's an all-star, but is a fringe, not a superstar, but is an all-star every year. Maybe Jaylen Brown's on that trajectory of becoming a superstar. DeRozan's a damn good player. Jaylen Brown's better. Jaylen Brown's a better player, but longevity speaks in this league. As for Tatum and his injuries, he's been pretty healthy. And he's dealing with a wrist, and I think he's going to have surgery at some point on that thing, which he'll miss half a season. But You only need him towards the end. I just wonder if he's dealing with something right now. One other thing I wanted to get into on the other side here is you just mentioned injuries, right? The Celtics are wearing teams down. They're wearing them down. And I'll tell you why coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Celtics will play Game 3 in Indy tomorrow night. They're traveling, and Kristaps Porzingis has made the trip. Adrian Wojnarowski reporting this.
was statement he's been trying to make all postseason long, that he's the best player on the Boston Celtics. He's the best player on the Boston Celtics, and he's willing to stand on business. Last night was a prime example of a guy taking it personal and responding in great fashion. He may try to downplay it, but we could see it in his face that he was pissed off he didn't make an all-NBA team and how he handled it. All right, y'all take this 40-piece. You look at when, before the Cavs series, before that series started, Jaylen Brown was on record talking about how much the last time they played the Cavs, how much it haunted them because the Cavs and LeBron James sent them home. Had nothing to do with Donovan Mitchell. What did he do in game one? He come out and he handed them 32 points. This man right here has been consistently great throughout this postseason for the Boston Celtics.
All right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Happy Memorial Day weekend to all of you. I know some people I'm looking in the chat right now. Some people are down on the North Shore with the windows open. It was a hot one today, man. What's that song, though? Well, it's a hot one. You know that song, Skaz? It was called Smooth by Santana and Rob Thomas, I believe. And if you said that this life ain't good enough. Anyways. Yeah, people are down on the North Shore. Katie, our old intern, who is doing an excellent job at Elon, and I believe we have graduates. Oh, no, that's not our intern. Oh, wow, I thought it was. Anyways, they're at Martha's Vineyard. Thought it was our old intern. People are out and about tonight. 67 currently watching on YouTube, so thanks for hanging out with us. So Perk says that Jaylen Brown's the best player on the Celtics. Whatever, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. Win. It reminds me of Rocky, Rocky 2, actually. And, Mick's sitting there hoping, come on. He's just quiet, like this is my meal ticket. She wakes up.
It's weird that Kendrick Perkins didn't feel that way all season when he said that Jason Tatum would be first-team All-NBA and that if the Celtics won over 60 games, he'd vote Tatum for MVP, which he didn't do. But Kendrick Perkins also didn't vote Jaylen Brown for any of the All-NBA teams. So, really?
Guys, this is what you should aspire for.
Just say a bunch of things.
You should
just say nonsense.
You should aspire to get paid to give takes whenever you feel like it.
Like a prisoner of the moment.
Like Kendrick Perkins would be like, yeah, and we're the Thunder since I played on that team. And then Durant's like, yeah, you're 2 points per game, which is great, right? That's good.
Kendrick Perkins taking shots at Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, saying they couldn't get to the finals without him.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm not saying all my takes are great. They're saying we got to do a show every day. You heard that before? They're not great, but you know what? I got them. I got a bag of them. I got an air fryer full of takes. Ready to go. Ready to just marinating right now. But I don't care who the best player in the Celtics is, and I've said this for a long time, and I'll say it again. Brown and Tatum haven't been able to win together. They can get there. They haven't been able to win yet. They need third scoring or secondary scoring. They need it. Clearly, you just heard Jaylen Brown say things are a lot easier for him this year. You know why? A, he got paid. B, he's got help around him. Same thing for Tatum. And the league is not about one guy anymore. It's not about one guy. For all the Ant Edwards, right? For all the love he's getting, he needs Karl Anthony Towns. He needs McDaniel. He needs somebody else. Mike Conley to have a good game. They need other players. Denver last year, Jokic was unbelievable. But you know what? Jamal Murray was outstanding. And speaking of Jamal Murray, I've said this for years. And if you want to crap on takes, swing and miss, I'm not swinging yet. And I haven't missed yet. I wanted Jamal Murray in the draft over Jaylen Brown. I wanted it. Because, Murray's a proven guy. Kentucky player. Usually those kind of guys have success in the NBA. I wanted Jamal Murray over Jaylen Brown. Who's a better player? No doubt about it. It's Jaylen Brown. But at times, who's a better performer? It's Jamal Murray. It is. It is. Jamal Murray also plays next to the best player on the planet. Can you say the same for Jaylen Brown? Like, don't you feel like there's a lot of sacrifice on the Celtics? And, don't give me the sacrifice stuff. Well, no, I mean, isn't that kind of what this team has been all about this year? Isn't that what the Big Three was about in 2008? It was about sacrifice. Last night I gave you all the Jason Tatum numbers on how he's, his shots have gone down, but his assists have gone up. His rebounds are the best in the league right now in the playoffs. But he's taking less shots a game, less points per game. Jaylen Brown's been outstanding. One thing I wanted to mention here in the segment, I'm sorry, I know some people are on the phones. I missed you there for a minute. The Celtics have been wearing teams down. I want this to be my take. The Celtics are wearing teams down. In the first round, Jimmy Butler was out, but they wear down Miami. In the conference semifinals, they wore down Donovan Mitchell. And right now, they have worn down Tyrese Halliburton, dealing with a hamstring injury. He was dealing with a chest injury during the game last night. And then the Pacers laid down. Like every other opponent this year against the Celtics, they laid down. Rich Carlisle blew game one. He surrendered in game two. And I wish I said that to Eric when he was on the line. He surrendered, waved the white flag. He tapped out like in wrestling. The Pacers are undefeated at home in the playoffs. Joe Mazzulla, may I bring this one up? Joe Mazzulla has outcoached Eric Spoelstra. Joe Mazzulla has outcoached J.B. Bickerstaff, who got fired. And now he's outcoaching Rick Carlisle to start the playoff run to the NBA Finals. They are beating teams up, whether it's on the court or with the chalkboard. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Ronnie's in Taunton. Hey, Ronnie.
How's it going, Joe? First time, long time, listening to your show every day I can.
Thanks, bro.
I want to get on Tatum real quick. Every day I listen to the radio and then, like ESPN, all that. I hear Stephen A. Smith, Perkins, everyone has some kind of negative thoughts on Tatum. Tatum's carried this team for years, but specifically this year, he's definitely carried the burden of like points, rebounds, assists. He's led the team to the playoffs so far. He's leading the team in minutes. All this stuff. Even the last series, he was leading the league in plus minus. The Cleveland series, he was leading the entire league in plus minus in the playoffs. And here we are. Tatum's averaging 25, 10, and 6 with a steal and a block a game. And, Jaylen Brown is obviously a huge part of this team, and I believe he's the 1B to Tatum's 1A, but, I don't like the way people talk about Tatum these days. It's just like they forget about, all the burden he's carried to this team the entire year, and even in the playoffs. It just bothers me.
Ronnie,
Brown is a big part of this team, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
hey, Ronnie, real quick, before you go, I'm on your team. I trust me. We've been here every night talking about the set.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. There's some people that might not want to credit someone when they sacrifice their game. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you had to sacrifice your game. Oh, you're taking less. So I feel like the way that people treated other superstars before they won a championship, right? Like LeBron had think about the pressure that guy faced, right? And he was built for it.
Yeah.
He was built for that.
Of course. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't care that Jason Tatum's not built for that. He's not. He's a Duke kid.
Me either. Yeah.
He's a Duke kid. He's a quiet kid. He's a phenomenal basketball player. He's still growing. He's still aging. He's not an alpha, and that's fine. But you know what, though? The story is that Jaylen Brown has ascended. Tatum is still the best player on the team.
Of course.
But if they can get the ascension and what everybody thought Brown could be, and he's doing that now, That's best for business.
Oh yeah, it's a team game, man, and like I'm all here for the team. Like Drew Holiday and Derek White, they're carrying a huge part of the load as well. You know, like I want the whole team to do well. I just want everyone to understand that everyone has their role, and I think this year everyone has accepted their role and they're performing the best of their abilities right now.
All right, man. Appreciate your call, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Yeah, see, you know, like what I get it. That's what we've been doing at night. Let's be critical for a minute here. Tatum was bad in the first half. Should I say bad? He struggled. He really struggled. Second half, though. Right? He was part of the knockout punch. Bill's in Taunton. Hey, Bill.
Hey, I disagree with the point that we outcoached Spoelstra, Carlisle, and Bickerstaff. I think we just out-roster them. If anything, I don't think we're actually punching to our weight in terms of coaching because all of these games have been super close.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we're actually playing up to the potential that we should be.
Can I give you... So forget about what the potential and all that, right? Forget about all that. You mean to tell me that you can't pick out points where Joe Mazzulla outcoached any of those guys?
I don't think it's about outcoaching them.
No. I can give you scenarios if you don't know.
What I'm seeing, and I do agree with you, there are
because
points
again, I go by facts is how I roll. Like some people watch and have opinions and they see things with their eyes. No, I'll give you the statistics and the actual outcomes that he has outcoached these guys. Like he outcoached Spoelstra. I'll battle anybody. Bickerstaff got fired, and you know what? They made some adjustments that didn't work out, and I know they were without their best player. But Carlisle's been outcoached. Like that's a fact, bro.
But the fact of the matter is, what you're seeing more than Joe is coaching is the development of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum being in these situations, in these scenarios, year after year after year. They are getting smarter in crunch time. I don't think it's Joe Mazzulla that's coaching them in those moments.
I got you. In the NBA, it's usually not about coaching. So, Bill, cheers to you on Memorial Day weekend. Cheers. But Mazzulla has outcoached the three, and they have beaten the teams down. 617-779-0985. I feel like I should have a shirt that say both things can be true. Anyways, we'll take a quick break. I got betting odds for you. Who's the Eastern Conference Finals MVP? We'll give you that coming up next.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub. and Bertrand get you through the midday, Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
Jaylen Brown moving to his left. McDermott slows him down. Shot clock down to 3. How fitting would this be for Jaylen to finish his perfect night with a 3? Woo-hoo!
Man, put the ketchup on the French fries.
And Jaylen drops 40 in game 2.
Well, we know what Max puts on his French fries, everybody. Which could be a Memorial Day discussion if you really wanted it later on in the show. I told you one time I was working at... So again, I my first job ever, I was a bagger at a Shaw's or Star Market or whatever. It didn't last long. But my first real job was at a McDonald's. A friend worked there, and I was like, hey, let's go work with my friend. And then they put me right up front in the cash register. And a woman came up to me. She was having a tough day. She's pregnant. And she goes, get me a large fry and a hot fudge sundae. And I went, what? So I got her large fry and her hot fudge sundae, and she started dipping the fries in the hot fudge with the ice cream. And I went, huh. And I tried it, and it was genius. So I thank that woman back in 1997 for coming up with that great idea. Betting odds. Eastern Conference Finals MVP odds. They've changed. Jason Tatum's now minus 130 to be the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Jaylen Brown was plus 500 entering Game 2. He is now plus 120. Jaylen Brown in the first 2 games of the Eastern Conference Finals averaging 33 points per game, shooting 51% from the field, 36% from 3, almost 6 rebounds a game, and almost 4 assists a game. That's pretty good, huh? I don't care about Eastern Conference Finals MVP, but man, if you got Jaylen Brown at plus 500, more power to you. We got the top of the hour here. Got a quick look at the Sports Hub headlines, and on the other side, I wanted to take a look at some of the additions that the Celtics have made this year and how it is helping them out in the playoffs. We'll do all that. No commercials here. I see your phone calls as well. I'm Joe Murray. Let's get a quick look at the Sports Hub headlines.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, home of the Celtics, Bruins, Revs, and Patriots.
Left side, touchdown Patriots.
Boston's home for sports is 98.5, the Sports Hub, Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, over at Fenway Park right now, the Red Sox trail the Brewers 3-0 in that one. So, for those who care. Tonight, Game 2 of the Western Conference NBA Finals. Mavericks have a 1-0 lead. They play in Minnesota. Tonight at the NHL playoffs, Rangers and Florida Panthers just about to get underway. Panthers lead the series 1-0 over the Rangers. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
No matter where you go, you're always connected to Boston sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today.
McConnell attacks the paint, blocked at the rim by Sam Hauser. Holiday for Hauser. He draws a double team, and that leaves Holiday wide open for 3.
Wow. We got a big game, right? Got the game tomorrow night. And then Monday could be the closeout game if they win.
Yes, I'll be here with Matt McCarthy on Monday night. No baseball hour, so right at 6 o'clock.
We just met Matt McCarthy's mom. Outstanding woman.
A lovely woman. It makes you wonder about, what happened to McCarthy.
Well, his dad's from Hyde Park. We've had that discussion before. It's funny. I'm from Hyde Park in Boston, yes. I probably have said that many of a time. But
we should make like a super cut of every time you've mentioned Hyde Park.
Hyde Park. It's funny. Whenever I go back home, there's haters out there, man. Hey, Joe, your takes suck. And I'm like, thanks, man. And that to me, that's warm. That's a warm, like, hey, Joe, how you doing?
Means you made it.
Yeah, no, but like, at least when you're home and they do it, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, you've probably seen the great like Bill Burr bit or like Conan. They talk about whenever they come back to Boston, it's not like, oh my God, it's Bill Burr. It's just people busting their balls.
It's on the North Shore when I go out, like, or if I go down to the cave, it's like, hey Joe, I don't know if I ever told you about the story. I was with Bird in P-Town. By the way, great experience being with Bird in P-Town. But a bunch of bros saw Bird and they were like, bankroll boys, lift shot sucks. Like, Everett sucks. Like, from far away. And I was like, like, it was just you get identified in some places. But back home, oh, yeah, it's always like, your takes suck. I don't know how that came up, but it was about Matt's mom. And we went full circle there. It's Memorial Day weekend, everybody. How you doing? Let's get back to the phones. I know some guys have been waiting. Keith's in Florida. Hey, Keith.
Hey, Joe. Keith Rose, originally from Providence, down in Bradenton, Florida. A two-part question. Number one, I love Jason Tatum, best player on our team, but, he makes me crazy when he disappears for quarters or, in this case, for halves, and then all of a sudden he turns it on. He shouldn't have to be flipping those switches. As great as he is, he should just be like Jaylen Brown, just be good from start to finish. Now, they're going to make mistakes, of course, but I'm saying, in order to win a championship, you can't have that.
All right, Keith, let me throw something at you. When do we acknowledge that Jason Tatum's playing out of position?
Well, when you see him. I'm saying, like, if I told you he's playing the 5 defensively, do you think that that's affecting him on the court offensively? You know what? I never gave that any thought. You're right. Joe did switch him for whatever reason. Joe did switch him. Maybe he thought that he might be able to play better in that position for that time period.
Did you see how many points Miles Turner had last night?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. He completely shut him down.
Shut him down.
I see what you're saying.
And he did it at the end of game 1 too.
Yeah.
So that's my only thing is I don't want to sound like a Tatum defender, but I'm realistic. Like, he's playing the 5 defensively. I think he's banging around too. He's not a banger. The guy's not. It's okay to admit he's not a banger. Has gotten stronger, but come on. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like Durant doesn't bang either. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
So I agree with you. There are times where I'm like, man, why can't this guy take the bull by the horn? But I think he's so skilled that he's doing other things, and this is where the other guys step up. And I think Drew Holiday's been outstanding because he's been able to do what he wants because they are worried about Tatum's game and even Brown.
There's no question about that. So do you think that game 4 or 5, when Kristaps comes back, then he'll be able to be put back into his natural position?
And he'll go off, dude. Just think of it like this, Keith. I think we can agree he's not playing at his best right now.
Right.
Imagine when he does.
Right.
How good will the team be?
I agree. Well, when you're old, you're blind, so sometimes you don't realize that I've been following all these teams since '72, so I'm old.
Yeah, you're watching from afar, right? You're like, you're not here. You're not living it like you used to.
True. That's true. That's very true. I am very far away. That's true. Well, I appreciate local guys like you that keep us, away people or expatriates, should I say, up to snuff. The other question is, we just had a new granddaughter, our first grandchild. They live in Lowell. She was born on the 15th, and we're going there on next Saturday for 10 days to celebrate her birth. We're going to be staying in North Chelmsford because we wanted to be near Lowell General, but baby was born 3 weeks early. So now, and it's a blessing. She's very healthy, 6 pounds, 2 ounces, and she's a cutie.
Absolutely.
Give me 2 great restaurants, maybe one Italian and maybe one seafood in Lowell.
Ooh,
that's all a lot.
I was in Lowell recently. If you're in Chelmsford, you got to get Joni's Pizza, okay? That's
all right, so Joni's.
Yeah,
okay, all right, Joni's Pizza.
And my thing is you might have to order it in advance.
Okay.
Because it's always very busy.
Crowded. Okay.
It's it's one of those spots. But I just went to a Thai restaurant, if you like Thai food. And I went to a Thai restaurant called Viet Thai in Lowell, right in downtown. Absolutely outstanding.
Well, his wife, she is Cambodian, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be trying some of their food.
There you go. And Tremonte is, I've heard, is very good in Lowell.
What about seafood?
Oh, well, I mean, you're out in that area, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, we'll try to get into Boston a couple of times, but we end up having to take the train.
It's no frills, but there's a place called Joe Fish. They have
I saw that.
There you go.
I saw that on Google.
Really good lobster roll if you get a chance.
Okay, Joe Fish, and they're in Lowell as well, right?
In the surrounding area.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
All right, bro. Well, congratulations to you. Restaurant advice all night long up until 11 o'clock. You know what, though? He's from Florida. He's coming home, Skaz. I gotta help. I gotta give him an assist, right? Gotta give him an assist. Chris in Illinois. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going, Joe?
How you doing? You coming to Boston? You need a restaurant recommendation?
Not soon, but hopefully in the future.
All right, man.
So first time caller, long time listener. I heard you talking about the out rostering versus the out coaching debate for Joe, and I was more so thinking it is a little bit of both. But I was curious to know your take if it's him out coaching or if their other coaches just are not up to par this season.
Well, I think like Rick Carlisle knows right now, we're having a problem, right? Like if they can't score and the Celtics go on these runs and they can't stop them, they have no shot. I think Cleveland not playing Mitchell and then LeVert not playing in the last game, and even Allen for that matter, probably showed that they weren't going to win the series, you know? So, yeah, listen, and NBA coaching hasn't been really the difference in the NBA Finals or over years. Spoelstra was a different story last year because, right, Missoula wasn't ready yet and the roster was better. So, but I will say out of timeout, like that three from Jaylen Brown, that was an outstanding out of timeout play. Like even setting it up to set up the defense was outstanding. I think Missoula's been very good. And at times, I think his timeouts have been very good. So has he really outcoached? It probably is a roster thing, but I think him having good like plays and reviewing things, and to that matter, I think he's been pretty good.
Okay, thank you for my call.
Appreciate you, Chris. Mike on restaurants in Lowell.
Hey Joe, how you doing?
How you doing?
So I just want to give an update for that guy that was coming to Lowell looking for seafood.
What do you got for
Captain John's in Lowell is a place he wants to try. It's kind of a little hole. It's kind of a little hole in the wall, but the locals know about it, and it's a place that they go to all the time. Lots of good portions, great big portions.
I'm looking at their onion rings right now. That's a seafood platter right there, bro.
It is.
A little scallop. Oh, that's like a tower of onion rings.
That's where you want to go for seafood in Lowell. I mean, there's not much out there, but that's the place.
When he asked, I was like, oh, boy, seafood in Lowell. That's why I was like, go to like one of those other $4.95 areas, you know?
Yeah, Lowell's not really known for its seafood.
Good. Songus Arena, I went recently. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah, it's a nice area. It's up and coming. It's a shame that the baseball team's not there anymore.
But check out the Mass Pirates. Shout out. I ran into John Meter Perel, if anybody remembers Meter. He was there. He's calling the games there. But that was good football. It's arena. It's different. They played a 41-40 game this week. So the locals love it. Give it a check. Check it out when you get a chance.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Take care,
buddy. Take care. There's a lot to like about Lowell. Whenever I think of Lowell, I think about the sisters in The Fighter. Look at this MTV girl. I don't even think I can say anything else from that. Look at this MTV girl. At the time, people of Lowell were not happy with that. The Lowell community did not like the way that they were portrayed in that movie. So I would just like to tell the people of Lowell who did not like that it was based off a true story. Now, listen, there are some Boston movies where I get the accent and I go, oh, God, out. But I did watch Iron Claw. And my old neighbor, Mauritani, is in that movie. No Boston accent. No Boston accent. Where I was going with this segment, guys, and I got derailed, the Celtics additions this year have been very good. Do you know that Drew Holiday has 43 points, 18 assists, 10 rebounds, and 3 steals in the first 2 games? He's shooting 70% from the field and 59% from 3. And prior to Porzingis' injury, Holiday was shooting 36%. Since the injury, 70. I know it's 2 games. Well, that's actually, it's been how many games? 11? No. 9. He went from 36% to 70? Insane. And do I have to say this? Does anybody miss Marcus Smart? Just let that sink in. Like Memorial Day weekend a year ago, I remember where I was. I believe that was the Derek White putback game, right? Yeah. That was the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. Or whatever day it was. And Marcus Smart was the one who took the shot. This is not an anti-Marcus Smart take, although it is going to look that way. And you know what? You're going to think it that way anyways. So I don't care. I'm not sorry. This team is so much better and has grown without Marcus Smart. They're so much better. Their winning plays are coming from their best players. The way it should have been. So was he in the way? Was he in the way? Remember he would sit at the coach's chair and tell the team what to do? Out on Marcus Smart. Out. I think he curtailed their success. I think now Brown is ascending because he's no longer with Marcus Smart. The money might have something to do with it. But now that Smart's gone, Jaylen Brown has become a superstar in the NBA and a snub from the All-NBA teams, and he's motivated, and that is good for the Celtics. 617-779-0985. You've heard about this path when it comes to the Celtics and their path this year. We'll get into that. But Chaz is in Billerica, and he's got a take. Hey, Chaz.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. A little unknown gem in Lowell on Market Street. Tasty dumplings for the soup dumplings. Unbelievable.
I saw it.
Yeah.
But
legitimate. Absolutely legitimate.
I'm sure it is, but I'm very faithful to the dumpling daughter. You know? Which I saw when I was at the Market Basket before the show today, Skaz, which I will have a full market report later on tonight. Can you believe that? Wait, that should be a bit. There we go. This summer, we need to do a market watch. Right? Market watch, market something. I'll work on that. But we need a market watch of things that happen at Market Basket. But if you're going with dumplings, go dumpling daughter. They're outstanding. And a hot take, go for the dumplings. The soup is amazing. They have incredible wings. Incredible wings. So if you get your dumpling and your lo mein, get a little side of wings. Oh, and they make this bao chicken sandwich that's amazing. I'm hungry. I'm sure you are too. It's Memorial Day weekend. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We got Skaz here. We are the only two people in the building. Maybe Luis, our custodian. You guys might see him walk behind me every once in a while. I've now given him the green light to just come in whenever he wants. We're trying something new tonight. We try to have two guests for a full show. It breaks it up, different subjects. It's really hard to get people on during the summer, especially on a holiday weekend. But we will be joined by Stool Greenie. Oh, yeah. Greenie's going to join us at 9:20. So we're not going to do the guest at 8:20. We're going to continue the vibe of the show. But yeah, the summertime is not easy for the guests. So we're just going to create more content. By the way, you don't want to miss the musings tonight. A very special edition of Joe of Fortune. I just made that up, but we'll see if it works later on here. 617-779-0985. Oh, the old path, right? Path talk. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. But when it comes to the path, what has the path been like for the Boston Celtics? Oh, the Celtics have the easiest path in NBA history. And there was an article from The Ringer today. Zach Cram goes on to talk about how people in the United States or in this region care less about college football, especially in New England. The Celtics begin their 6th Eastern Conference Finals in 8 seasons against the Pacers. New England's NBA team inspires a chant straight out of college football playbook. The Celtics ain't played nobody. I'm going to keep referencing this article at 985thesportshub.com that James Scaramazzino wrote this year that says that the regular season is important. Like, all right, let's take the Celtics out of it for a minute, right? If the New England Patriots go 14-2, got the bye, and had a home game against a tomato can and then played immediately in the AFC Championship game, was there a lot of, look who they played. They got the Jaguars on the right.
Like if they played Blake Bortles, you're saying.
Oh, in the AFC Championship game. And the only reason why they won the game was because Miles Jack, a linebacker, fumbled the ball as a running back? Is that what you're telling me, Skaz?
The path.
Right? I mean, again, when Zoe called the other night, who I love, but when he called in and said, yeah, it's the easiest path ever, I go, oh, yeah, just like when the Broncos got ousted by the Mark Brunell Jaguars and you guys got them instead of the Broncos. It's just that, like, are we really looking at the path? Again, I use the food analogy because it's the best way for me to relate it to everybody. When you order the pizza, you just want it delivered. You don't care who does it, how it gets there. You want it delivered. It's the same thing with this title. I don't care who they play. Well, the Red Sox in 2004, some people don't even remember that they swept the Cardinals. Right? Who they beat in 2013, do you remember? Like, all you remember is who they beat or who they won. Now, the 2008 Celtics, they beat the Lakers. That was big. That was big, and there was a rematch later on. That was big. But I guess you'll remember that the Bruins beat Vancouver. Right, but when I think about, like, the Patriots, I have to, oh, yeah, Carolina, that's right, they had them. Which Eagles Super Bowl was that again? You know? But the Celtics, it's like, do you remember them basically beating the crap out of a Detroit Pistons team to go to the NBA Finals in 2008? No! Doesn't matter. But the easiest path to the finals? Since 1984, this is the list. The Lakers in 87 got Denver, the Warriors, and Sonics. In 84, Kings, Mavs, Suns. Last year, Skaz has brought this up a bunch. The 42-win Timberwolves, the 45-win Suns, and the 43-win Lakers. The average opponent win was 43. The 87 Lakers that everybody loves. 39 wins was the average. The 85 Lakers, the year before the Celtics, Suns, Blazers, Denver. 43 wins. The 88 Lakers, Spurs, Jazz, Maverick. The Lakers versus the field in the 80s, besides the Celtics in Houston maybe, was whack. Whack. And Lakers fans, you can get on me. You know why? It doesn't matter. You won the championship. It doesn't matter. The 84 Celtics got the Bullets, New York, and the Bucks. 44 wins. The 2013 Heat, you remember them? Bucks, Bulls, Pacers. So when you look at what the Celtics have done, they played good teams. They've beaten good teams. If you want to go to an injury-adjusted path, which now brings up the injuries where I said they dominated people like the Heat, Donovan Mitchell, and now Halliburton, 39 wins. I don't care that other players got hurt. It happens all the time. Giannis got hurt last year. So what, you don't credit Miami for going to the finals then and then beating the best team, Celtics? They beat the two top teams in the Eastern Conference last year. I hate the path argument. I hate it. Just win, baby. Just win. I don't care how. Do it. 617-779-0985. That is, you want to check that out. It's on the Ringer. Zach Cram. He wrote that this morning at 10 o'clock. People think that the reason why their road is so smooth is because of the injuries. Well, I would say this. Be the best team in the NBA. Get the easiest opponent when you advance. And have a roster that is filled with players that can play when others go down to give them rest. Just like Kristaps Porzingis. When he's out, or Luke Cornett's out, here comes O'Shea Brissett. Right? They got Tillman in at the trade deadline as insurance for a big. Just, if you're worried about injuries, just be the best team. Be the best team. Let's talk to Jay in Webster. Hey, Jay.
Hey, what's going on there? I don't know if you remember me. I know you used to be in the car business.
Yeah, where would I know you from?
I called in before with a snowstorm. You were like, I should buy pizza for everybody.
Oh, there you go.
Just because I'm the finance manager.
I got you. So real quick. All right. So I was just talking about how my first job was at McDonald's. I was in the car business. Some guy the other day was like, "Yeah, imagine working in the radio business, just sitting down and doing 4 hours. It's such hard work." And I wanted to be like, "Bro, you have no clue what I've been through." So I didn't. I got offended. But yes, in a snowstorm, when you work at the car dealership, you become a snow remover. Yeah, you're no longer a salesperson.
Yeah, you got the snow bro.
Exactly. You got to key up all the cars, and then I was a pusher. So what would happen is some light.
I just ran the plow truck.
Yeah, So normally the finance guy or the GM would run the plow truck. I was a pusher. We'd get a skinny guy in there, a couple of guys shoveling, and then I'm in the back just pushing. You know, like the big elephants in Lord of the Rings.
But yeah, have you been to Herbie's before in Worcester?
Heard of it?
I know you're from around that.
I've never been. I'm not from there, but I've been out there. But I go there often. But Herbie's, I have not been to, but I'm curious.
Yeah,
tell me.
Unbelievable seafood.
Oh, you know what? I know what it is now. I know. I haven't been there. I know exactly.
Right where Polar is.
Yeah. So it's Oh, I love that area. By the way, they're right off the 290 split right there.
Right. And if you go to Herbie's, you got to go to Giovanni's Bakery.
Been there. That's a good one.
Did you get their sandwich?
I have not, but I got some of their delicious bakery goods. You know who I met I met down the Cape one day. I was at a breakfast joint. You know, you ever been to Belcito's?
Oh yeah, all the time.
All right, so
now you got to call in. Get it through pickup.
That's right. So it's funny. I saw the kid. He goes, "Hey, you Joe?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, I'm Belcito." I go, "Hey, man, how you doing?" It's just kind of funny. And what's the other sandwich place? Regatta?
No, too much bread.
Well, I don't know. I'm not. Again, like that. It's what I've been told. You know, you got to go there.
Now, go back to Giovanni's because they opened up a deli. Their meatballs, unbelievable. But go to Herbie's. It's a hole-in-the-wall bar. Like,
yeah, that's the best point. Those are the best ones.
Like, have you been to Breen's before?
No.
Their steak and cheese is better than Ziggy Ball.
My favorite spot in Worcester, it's a hole in the wall. It's on Park Ave. It's across from the KFC and the Firehouse. It's called Delot. No frills. Love it. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I know it.
All right, Jay. Appreciate you, bro. It's Memorial Day weekend, everybody. When hockey season ended, Skaz, before I became full-time here on the night show, I used to do the Bankroll Boys from 7 to 9, and then they would let me sit in the chair from 9 to 11. And, dude, I don't even think I even did sports. I think it was like, hey, Joe, I'm going to a Little League game in Pittsfield today. I need somewhere to go. Da-da-da. That's what happened. Hey, we got a Rozzy guy on the line. Donnie, what's up, Donnie?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
How you doing?
I got a comment, and most of you guys will disagree with me on this, but I believe Jason Tatum is one of the worst defenders in the league. The statistics bear him out as being one of the better defenders, but he's on the court with 4 other guys. If you look at Tatum games, a good 20% of the time the other team scores is because Tatum loses his man. I know he's supposed to be the main man in Boston, but to me, Jaylen Brown is a way better two-way player than Tatum. I could be wrong.
I wouldn't know. Donnie, I wouldn't argue with you on that one.
Oh,
I would.
No, I don't think that he's a terrible defender. I don't. So, Scott and Donnie, appreciate it. No, I think Jaylen Brown is. If you want to make an argument, I think Jaylen Brown's a great two-way player. I think
he's not as good as Tatum. He's not as good of a defender or an offensive player.
You don't think Jaylen Brown's a better defender than Tatum?
No, I don't even think it's that close.
Wow. All right.
Tatum can cover 1 to 5.
He can. Listen,
Jaylen Brown has been a better defender maybe lately, maybe this season, but I mean, Jaylen Brown's been roasted for his defense for the last 4 or 5 years. Like,
there have been some days where he is not. Listen, who's more consistent defender? It's Tatum. Yeah, so you're right. I look at it as potential and does it every game and whatever. I would say that Brown is probably a better two-way player, but Tatum's more consistent.
I think Tatum's a much better two-way player. He passes the ball. He rebounds.
Can we get statistics on it? How do we
look at their rebounds and assists? Maybe
should I call Brian Barrett and be like, "Hey, man, who's better? Who's better?"
I don't even think it's that close.
I never thought about it before, Skaz. Do you know why you never thought about it before? Because it's not a discussion.
Yes, it's not a discussion.
So I haven't thought about it before. Why? Because it probably hasn't been a discussion.
Weird how Jaylen Brown, this is from our Twitch chat, looks like a much better defender without Marcus Smart.
Oh, that was my take earlier.
I'm getting a text from Sean Silver that simply say, boo.
Sean Silver's listening. Let me check my phone. Jay Stu was texting me earlier and texting you at the same time. Why don't they just group chat us?
Yeah, nah, we got Jay Stu. He's got the card itch that me and you have succumbed to.
I know. I've got a lot of feedback about that card when we had Chris Costa from Card Wallet in. A lot of people like that segment. We got to do more of that. In or out, which is at the end of the hour here. In or out on group chats, group texts.
I have to be in on this because I'm a habitual group chat texter.
You're a habitual group chat texter.
Yeah, I'm very annoying.
I have 3 group chats. One for my friends at home. It's the only way we communicate. We're not going to call each other. Are you kidding me? I'm on one with a troll account that we troll some people on. I'm kind of in. We'll do that in a little bit. One more before the break because it's Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Al in Rhode Island. Don't swear.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey, I won't swear. Sorry. Thanks for taking my call.
No worries.
I'm with you, like, as far as just hang the banner and don't worry about who you play. But then, like, I think back, in the Patriots of 2001 when the whole world had the best show on turf, the Los Angeles Rams, or St. Louis Rams at that time, had everybody over the Patriots, and then the Patriots put the most massive upset. So I'm with you. Like, I want to hang the banner, but I don't want to be a paper champion. I want to be someone who beats somebody. So when I kind of look back at that Patriot season when nobody had them to win it, and they go in and they win it in the Superdome, there was just something special about that when you don't expect it and you kind of deliver. And I know this year is different because everybody has the Celtics, it's their championship to lose. But I don't know. I think it does matter somewhat, if I'm being honest, like on who you play.
All right. Well, they've been tested. One more, because I know Murph's been trying. Murph, what's up, Murph?
What's up, Joe? What's going on?
People have been calling about Lowell, and you're my source.
All right, so listen, Captain John's does have good seafood. I don't know about the best in the city, but I don't know if anyone's heard of a place. Have you been to George's Delicatessen on Gorham Street in the corner of Lundberg?
No, but tell me.
56 years in business, don't deliver. Every police, firefighter, first responder, every construction vehicle in the city is there. You can't even get close to the place from 12 to 2. Best place in Lowell.
Are you already at the Sand Dollar?
No, you know what? I was going to go. You know what I'm psyched for? Banderas tomorrow.
Oh, gonna get meatballs for breakfast?
They are open, Joe. And the meatballs, listen, you can't get them on a wrap. You got to get them in a sub roll.
Yeah.
But I'm going Italian extra hots for a sandwich of the summer.
Oh, they just opened too, right? Oh.
We need you down there, buddy.
I'll be there soon. I'll see you soon. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks, Murph. Our Lowell insider down on the Cape. Oh, Dolly's meatballs from Banderas. Oh. Skaz, what I do now is you may know this, but I tried to order a meatball sub on a wrap. And for those who are going to bash me for it, I have been trying to eat better and make better life changes. And one of them was bread. I walked in. I said, "Can I get a meatball on a wrap?" And they looked at me and said, "We're not going to do that." And I went, "Come on. I'm going to the beach. I don't eat the sub roll. Can you just put it on a wrap for me?" And they were like, "We're not going to do that. Why don't you just buy meatballs?" So, what happened? They gave me a deli container of meatballs, and I ate them with a fork, and they were absolutely amazing. And then one day at like 7 a.m, they had Dolly's meatballs ready to go. And I said, "Give me the deli container of Dolly's meatballs." And I ate meatballs for breakfast. And now I'm addicted. And you are too. 617-779-0985. It's Memorial Day weekend, everybody! Here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Oh, yeah, we have headlines. So what's going on in the world today? Well, the Red Sox are losing 6-1. The Rangers lead 1-0 in a period that has had how many fights? A lot. And the Mavericks lead. on, but you know what I have on in the channel in the studio right now? I have Western Conference hockey, which has been entertaining. Eastern Conference, Florida and the Rangers, and I have Western Conference basketball. No Red Sox. I don't. I want to watch. I want to still watch baseball. I have watched the Red Sox this year. Can they stay in it until the Celtics are over? Can they stay in it? Normally, they've hung around until September, or the trade deadline, I should say. We got In or Out coming up next. Memorial Day edition. We got a Musings Memorial Day edition. And I see guys line up on the phones. Let's take one call before we go to break here. Let's see. Who's been waiting the longest? Marquise. Hey, Marquise.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for taking my call. I'm about to say something I don't think hasn't been said on the radio yet. I think every player in the WNBA is overpaid except for Caitlin Clark. The attention and the eyes that she brings to the game is beyond anything that we have seen in this league.
I don't
yet.
disagree with that, Marquise, but, dude, I've watched. Like, she's gotten toasted a couple of times. That is, dude, that's really good competition, man. I've been watching a few games because of Caitlin Clark, to your point.
Yeah, she's, 20, 22, and then she's playing against grown women who've been playing this game for a very long time.
You're right.
So I'm going to hang up and
I think she could be the trend center for us watching WNBA games. I mean, Lifshat's been watching him for years and betting on him. Now I got a reason to watch. Jeremy's in Shrewsbury. Jeremy.
Hey, how's it going, Joe? Thank you for taking my call.
No problem.
Not bad. So my problem is all the haters on Tatum. All right? So this guy is one of the, elite best players that have played in basketball, right? But does he have the grit that everybody wants? Well, that's 80s, 90s basketball. This guy has so much talent, he didn't need the grit to get where he is. Now, if you're going to insult him on his grit, not on how talented the guy is. This guy's an amazing player. We're lucky to have him for the Celtics. And he needs to be given listen, I'm a hockey guy, so I love watching the heavy hits. But because he's not elbowing people and he's not hurting people, like people don't like him, no. The guy's a great player. Let him play his game. Stop hating him, especially these guys who've never played an athletic sport in their lives. Like, you don't see the work he puts in every single day. I don't.
Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it. We're up against it. Sorry. There's some Tatum hate. There is some real Tatum. I wonder if it's Duke related. I don't know. There's something there with him, though. Jeff's in Londonderry.
Hey, Joe. I just wanted to quickly discuss the best pizza in the Commonwealth. And to do that, I think we have to take a spatial academic analysis of essentially the hearth, the cultural hearth of pizza in North America, which I think we would probably agree is the New Haven, Connecticut area. And so as great as pizza might be in the eastern portion of Massachusetts, kind of the distance decay from New Haven really allows Massachusetts pizza places along Route 91 kind of better that more authentic, great pizza coming out of New Haven. And so my argument is that Red Rose Pizza in Springfield, which actually is near the new casino, is the best pizza in the Commonwealth. It's got the least amount of distance decay and erosion from that great Connecticut style.
Hey,
pizza.
Jeff, if you go to 985thesportsup.com, right, we did something recently called the Roni Rumble. We got 76 pizza shops to enter. We have one winner, and the place that you mentioned in Springfield's on there. Go check it out. We're up against it. I need Jeff to call back another night. Did you hear the way he spoke about pizza? Did you hear that? That was an intellectual pizza conversation. That was very intellectual and smart. We need more of that when it comes to food. We got to go to break. In or out next here on the Sports Hub.
What's it going to be, McFly? Are you in or out?
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub. for sports in 98.5, the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox down 6-2 over at Fenway Park to the Milwaukee Brewers. That game in the sixth inning. Right now in the NBA, T-Wolves have a 31-26 lead just before the end of the first quarter. Dallas leads that series 1-0. And on the NHL playoffs, Florida and the Rangers tied at 1 in a wild first period. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. In or Out is coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
If you've got the app, you've got Toucher and Hardy to wake you up no matter where you are.
Or who may or may not have been to jail.
Get the app. The 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is
on Napster, by the way.
All right, Joe, for our next In or Out, we head to Toronto, and that is a Chuck E. Cheese location in Toronto.
Oh, Chuck E. Cheese,
Young people in Toronto. Just kind of a funny last name for someone that works in that field, bookbinder. But yes, so this group of people is now working out of a Chuck E. Cheese for their 9-to-5s. Joe, are you in or out on remote work from Chuck E. Cheese?
Well, I'm in on remote work anywhere. I think we all should be able to work remote. I think we all should be able to. But just so you know, at a lot of these tech companies, what I don't understand is, like, and I've worked at probably 4 or 5 tech companies in my life. They're all loaded with, you get the coffee right away, the cold brew, right? You'll have bagels on Fridays. You'll get catered lunches every day. You'll have the foosball table. You'll have the video games. You'll have your happy hour, right? You'll have an ice cream social. I mean, I gained 35 pounds working at a company because all they did was feed us. And the thing is that we worked in sales, so, like, they don't want us to leave. So would I rather be in the situation where I can get free food, free drinks, free everything, get free parking in the city of Boston, and just go to work? That is better than going to a Chuck E. Cheese. But I support Chuck E. Cheese. Pizza's not great, but you know what? It's great amongst children for some reason. Who doesn't love, again, the kids' tables? Guys, Chuck E. Cheese, video games, mascots, and fun.
Yeah, the band always freaked me out a little bit, but yeah, I was in on Chuck E. Cheese.
There was this game I used to play. I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese in years, but there was this game I used to play where I'd sit on it and, like, it was like an Excite Bite type of game. The McDonald's I worked at back in 1997 was next to a Chuck E. Cheese in West Roxbury. Both no longer exist. Sad. You know, sometimes I used to get pizza at Chuck E. Cheese when I worked at a McDonald's. We also were across the street from a Burger King, and sometimes I would go to a Burger King while working at McDonald's.
Did you feel dirty while you were doing it?
Perpetrating, yes.
Fraternizing with the enemy?
Oh, yeah. We would get the food for free, too, if we just ate it at McDonald's, but I needed to have a rodeo cheeseburger. One thing McDonald's doesn't do, onion rings.
If you were still working there, did that already be done?
They'd be a jumbo Joe ring. What else do we have tonight?
All right, Joe, you put this in Slack earlier today, and that is that one Triple H has invited Patrick Mahomes to fight in the WWE after Mahomes expressed interest in getting into the ring. So, Joe, are you in or out on
piece? She could be a valet.
Kelsey, get Kelsey in there.
You know who? Know what I could see?
The Kelseys would be much better than Mahomes and Kelsey.
WrestleMania, Las Vegas. Patrick Mahomes and his wife versus Jason Kelsey and his crew. Or maybe like a tag team. Logan Paul and Patrick Mahomes. Feel the heat on that one? Oh. And I think who could you get? Would it be Cody and, like, Jey Uso.
I want to see Andy Reid out there.
Oh, yes!
Like Paul Heyman.
Oh, my God, the Kool-Aid splash off the top rope. Yes! Yes! Yes!
His giant, his cheesecake menu playbook out there.
Yeah, he would like, he'd be like giving little heat, like, hey, man, this is what you got to do. Or he could have his rings. That could be like the brass knuckles. Oh, yes! Someone saying the original idea behind a McNugget was actually an onion. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
So that would have been my idea.
Only on the Joe Show.
Instead, it turned into the McNuggets.
I think they've done pretty well with the McNuggets.
They have.
All right, Joe, while we're on the fast food train, this is something I saw on Twitter today. Chipotle has allegedly sent out a memo to Chipotle employees instructing them to fill up the bowls as much as possible if they're being filmed while the person is ordering.
Okay.
Joe, are you in or out? Well, I guess, are you in or out on the public peer pressuring Chipotle into actually filling their bowls?
There's one across the street. I watch them. So, full transparency, I am a bare bones Chipotlean. I go in. I say, may I have a burrito with chicken, beef, or whatever, with rice and cheese only. Sometimes I get salsa. Sometimes I'll do beans. But for the most part, I'm a plain Jane. Your average Joe. Chicken, rice, cheese, wrap it up, bing, bang, boom. Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Stool Greenie's joining us here on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Greenie, I believe I'm an unbiased basketball fan. I just go by facts and my feelings at times. But this run from the Boston Celtics, can you remember a team that's had this much hate through the national media and being 10-2 or whatever their record is right now, up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals?
It's crazy, right? Like we haven't. I mean, I'm old. You know, I'm not a spring chicken. Not only have I never seen a Celtics playoff run start this way in my life, I've never seen, like you mentioned, the narrative around it be like they were 2-10 in the postseason. It makes no sense. But listen, envy brings out a lot of emotions in people. They're running through all the hits of all the old narratives. You can sense a lot of coping in the national narrative because they're not failing like everybody said that they would.
All right, I got one for you. Somehow me and Skaz got into a little debate, so I figured we'd ask you. Who is a better defensive player, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum?
This season or like as an overall
just
player?
Overall.
I'd probably still go Tatum. I think when he's locked in, he can guard more positions. I just think with Jaylen, there's some off-ball stuff that he falls asleep a little bit. I'd still go with Tatum, but it's splitting hairs. It's like, which child do you love more? You love them both, but, if you had to make a call, I'd say Tatum.
All right, well, Skaz won that battle then because I said Brown, but Brown hasn't been consistent enough. So what do you attribute to the hate for, and I already mentioned the Celtics, but just there's hate, there's disgust, there's like a target on Jason Tatum. I go to the Duke days. Maybe he's a Duke player. Maybe he's a star player that doesn't show any emotion. Clearly, TV people and ESPN people, they're lazy because they think the Celtics are boring, right? I think there's a lot of storylines of this team. I'm a big wrestling fan, so WWE could finish the story for Cody Rhodes. How come the Celtics don't get that same thing when it goes to finish their story after finally going back and building up their team and losing in the Eastern Conference Finals? That's not the narrative I hear that I wish we did.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is, there's probably a Brady factor. They've been, the region has been winning all these titles for so long. And everybody knows, this station, ESPN, everybody, if you want ratings, slander the Celtics, right? Be negative towards them. Rile up people like me who are going to eat the trash and get triggered and not be able to hold back. But when you take a step back and look at it truly objectively, what's to hate? Tatum works on his craft. He's not in the headlines for the wrong reasons. He's a great father, and he's one of the best players in the league who just passed Larry Bird to become the most playoff points in the first 7 years of his career. So it's like they're checking every box that you would think would have a positive narrative, but I just think the formula for engagement, some Brady PSD, I think all that factors into what you're seeing now.
All right, talking with Stool Greenie, Barstool Sports. I love how you guys have the freedom to just write headlines however you want, But what do you think about Jaylen Brown after his 40-point performance? Doesn't really care about anything else at the moment.
I mean, I think there's truth to that, but I also don't believe him. I mean, I've watched a lot of Jaylen Brown in my life. I can tell when he has that pissed off, locked in look, and it's no surprise as to what would cause that. He had the All-NBA defense snub, the All-NBA third team snub, the Eastern Conference Game 7 last year, narrative around him. He's playing like a guy that's angry, and I love it. But I also think he understands the perspective of the only thing that has mattered for this team since October, and this has come down from Jaylen to Tatum to Mazzulla, the title is the only thing that matters. And I think we're seeing these guys start to enter in there NBA prime years. They're entering a more mature stage in their lives. He got the Supermax. It's like this is the time to where they can all finally lock in. And once you win the title, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter who slanders you. It doesn't matter what All-NBA snub you get, because for the rest of time, you will be known as an NBA champion.
What did you think about the discussion today? I know Shams was on the FanDuel show or whatever he does, and basically said back in the 2021 season, they asked Jason Tatum, do you want Jaylen Brown to be here? Do you want to play with him? There was potentially maybe talks about moving on from him, but it was Tatum who came in and said, nope, I want to play with him. I want to win with him. We've read about the relationship, right? He spoke recently about how things have been easier for him, Brown for that matter. I do think getting paid makes things easier for you, but it also puts a lot of pressure on you, and he just talked about this mentality that he has. He's got to keep going, and he thinks most of his problems have been himself. I think now that Marcus Smart's out of the way, helps him out a ton. But what are your thoughts on Tatum wanting Brown here and now Brown ascending into a superstar?
I mean, it's funny when you think of, they don't like each other. Oh, they can't play together. Oh, you have to split them up. I think it's always important to check in with your franchise player early of like, hey, this is how we're going to maybe build the team. What do you think? Because you need him to want to buy into what you're doing. I think you can see as they've aged, they have that real connection. Their chemistry on the floor is so much better. After games, they share moments. It's reassuring as a Celtics fan who always believed in this duo. Now they've gone through the growing pains. They waited it out, and now we can enjoy the fruits of that labor and see what these two guys look like in their primes, because that was always the goal. Once you didn't split them up to trade for Anthony Davis, the franchise made the decision, we are investing in this duo, and we are seeing it through. And it looks like they're on the verge of doing something pretty special, but that doesn't happen unless Tatum and Brown have that rock-solid foundation.
Greenie, I know you look at the stats, you look into things, you hear the narratives, you defend it. So one thing that Skaz and I have been pretty strong about is if Tatum is struggling right now and he's not right, how well and how good will this team be when he is right and when they get Kristaps Porzingis back?
I think we all have to understand what we say when we say, oh, Tatum's not playing well or he's underperforming. That's not true. He's just not shooting the ball well from three. He started to improve his two-point percentage. He was 45 or something last night. He was great in the final three games of the Cleveland series. I think for him, it's more, we're not used to seeing him shoot 26% from three. That's very strange. But his overall impact and production and how he's playing as a basketball player is good enough to win you the title. Like, if this is the version of Tatum that you get, and then you add in a healthy Porzingis, this team can win the title. I think it's getting a little overboard where, he's being talked about like he's Tobias Harris or something. It's getting a little crazy, and now we're re-dealing with the old 2019 narrative of who's the team's best player, Tatum or Brown. I'm someone who thinks it's pretty awesome that the Celtics have both of those players on their team, and they're going to need them both if they want to win the title. So I think I would like him to shoot the three better, maybe not coast at the beginning of the games like we saw in the first half last night, but I think he's having as good a postseason as you could need if your goal is to win the title.
How about that path talk about the easiest path ever? What do you think about that one?
I mean, it's just factually inaccurate, right? I mean, people throw around the word NBA history a lot and forget that includes teams before, 2005. So I also don't apologize for it. Nobody was feeling bad for me during Len Bias era, or when KG's knee never got healthy, or when Hayward got hurt, or when Kyrie got hurt, or Robert Williams, or Jason Tatum last year. So I apologize for nothing. I've seen one title in my lifetime. I don't care how they get there. The goal is 16 wins, not 16 wins playing every best player in the world. You get the pass that you get, and it's up to you to take advantage.
Yep, I use the analogy of a pizza. When I get delivery, I don't care how it's made. I don't care about it at all. Just deliver the pizza. Don't
exactly. Like when you look up Yeah, when you look up at the banners, you're not going to see, Boston Celtics 2024 world champions, asterisk, they had an easy path. I'm pretty sure that banner does not exist in any arena that's won a title. So who cares?
Talking to Barstool Greenie, some people chirped at me earlier today. My take was, I think the Celtics have been beating up on teams. At the same time, I think Joe Mazzulla has been out coaching the other coaches in the playoffs. If you just look at it, I know Jimmy Butler was out, but they beat up that team. Like, they beat up Donovan Mitchell, and now they beat up Tyrese Halliburton. So, I give them credit for that, but I also think that Mazzulla's outcoached Spo, Bickerstaff, and Carlisle in this playoff run.
Oh, yeah. We must have been on the same wavelengths, because I tweeted the same thing this morning. And, again, it's just another one of these weird hate narratives that turns out Joe Mazzulla actually knows what he's talking about. He's 21-11 in the postseason as a head coach. This team has looked prepared for anything. The Spoelstra voodoo zone was broken with or without Porzingis. They're winning on the road. They haven't lost on the road yet, which is the sign that the team is ready and prepared. I just think everyone is so quick to assume that Joe Mazzulla, who's a psycho, isn't good at his job or isn't staying up at all hours of the night to prepare his team. It's proven in what we're seeing now that if the players play to their standards and Joe just, coaches normal, he doesn't try to do anything wacky or experimental, it's good enough to win a title. And I think every time they lose a game, he has to be fired. It's like, look around the league at who's firing their coaches. They're all loser franchises who are chaotic. The Celtics know what they have, and they're investing in this group. And it turns out they're putting up one of the most historic seasons the NBA has ever seen. I think Mazzulla deserves credit for that.
So, Greenie, I wrote an article on 985thesportshub.com. I'm not a writer. I have to write. So I wrote an article called What is a Green Teamer? Because I have been labeled a green teamer, and I disagree. I'm from here, which I guess, because I'm from Boston, I guess that makes me a green teamer, and your last name has green in it. So I ask you, what's a green teamer? Is there anything negative that you could say about the Celtics team? And while we're on it, this is the kids' table. Just so you know, we're at the kids' table. We're eating our Chuck E. Cheese. We got our hoodsies ready to go. We got our freeze pops ready. You got to cut up our chicken fingers. But I'm with you, man. I'm factual. I look at numbers. I look at actual facts and my eyeballs. And I think this has been the best basketball team all year. I thought they could front run their way, and whether that's a negative term or not, they're blowing teams out, and now teams are laying down. And I just saw Rick Carlisle throw up the white flag. So I'm asking you, can you give me something negative about the team?
Oh, sure. Their pick and roll defense is still garbage. There are times where they fall asleep defensively on the glass. We obviously only have a smallish sample of their late game execution. That's obviously going to always be a question for as long as basketball exists. Their bench hasn't really performed outside of Peyton Pritchard recently. Hauser's shot is gone. Cornette looks unplayable at times. I think there's this idea that a quote-unquote green teamer can never say or never acknowledge anything that's bad revolving around the Boston Celtics. That is not true. The difference is we're also able to acknowledge and give credit and realize when they're playing well and the good things that are happening. Like, everybody wants to kill Jason Tatum for his first half, and if you say, well, he was better in the second half and it was impactful, you're called a green teamer. Well, you can still acknowledge his shortcomings and the no-show in the first half and not label that first half as his entire performance because the second half exists. So I agree. I'm with you. A lot of people throw that term around as a crutch. They don't actually listen to what you're saying. And, I think the 2 to 6 show has a lot to do with that, unfortunately.
So I've been saying this week, this is not the Felger and Maz postgame show. Because, dude, I don't know what happened this week, man. Everybody called in. I can't have that at night. Like, I can't have people calling in to complain to me about the takes that they have. Because, again, we work the games. Like, we work Scaz running. I'm working. We're doing every single game. But I did look up the Urban Dictionary for green teamer. A fan of the Boston Celtics who blindly follows the team and believes any call against them is a bad call or any move made by the general manager is a great move. Broadcaster Tommy Heinsohn, the classic Green Teamer, believes all the calls go against the Celtics and it's part of an agenda. I don't consider you that, even though you have Greenie in your title and your name.
Well, I will say this. Brad, I think, only has one miss on his resume, if that. So that part might actually be true. I don't think he's made a bad decision since he got the job.
What's the miss?
That's an excuse.
What's the miss?
I'm trying to think. Was he Jeff Teague or was that Danny Ainge?
You know what? I don't know, but, I mean, was Jeff Teague
I'm trying to think if it was that first year. That was the year that the Bucks won the title in 21. So that might have been Ainge. But if that wasn't under Brad's tenure, then forgive me. He's absolved of that. But it was because I remember Tristan Thompson was Ainge. If that was in the same free agent class, then forgive me, President Stevens. But it hasn't always been roses and butterflies.
He's been pretty good. It's hard for me to complain about anything Brad Stevens has done. So, do you think we'll see Porzingis this series?
I mean, listen, I'm like you. I'm from here. I'm old. I don't know what to believe when it comes to this team and injuries. On one hand, I have Woj telling me he's going to be back by Game 4. On the other hand, he's not practicing. Nobody's saying anything. I think if they go up 3-0, you're not going to see him into the finals. And then the worry then becomes, can you cold start Porzingis in the finals who hasn't played for a month? And is he going to be in game shape? Is he going to be rusty? So it's that debate of, do you try to buy him 10 minutes or so here to ramp him up? But I will jump off the Zakem Bridge if he gets hurt in a meaningless game ahead of the NBA Finals. I don't know what they're going to do. I just hope it's not a KG situation where it's really going to be season ending, and I have Woj going on TV telling me he's going to be back by Game 4.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 37.
All right, I'm 42, man. Come on, you're not old.
Oh, we're up there. We've lived through the Rick Pitino era. We've seen some stuff.
That is true, man. I'll never forget, like, growing up, it's like, who's your favorite player? I was like, Andrew DeClerc? I don't know. I was a big man, so it's like, that's the only guy. Derek Strong, remember those names? Whoa.
Listen, if you haven't convinced yourself that David Wesley is the future, we're not the same.
Hell of a player. Once they let him go, his days in Charlotte were outstanding.
I know.
I can't believe as a bettor I never got a Kevin Gamble jersey either.
Batali Potompo was on my wall for much of my adolescence, and that kind of tells you everything you need to know. Maybe I am a green teamer in that case.
Well, I don't get time to give a shamrock. You guys got those shirts out there?
Listen, we are putting stuff out. We just had one go out last night after Jalen's quote. Obviously, due to your FAA regulations or whatever, we can't say it here, but you can, knock yourself out, and if they win the championship, I imagine we'll have plenty more.
All right, Greenie. I was like, we got to get Greenie on this week, so appreciate it coming on. You can always blast everybody here. We're doing it every night. This is the kids' table. Remember that. We're the guys who watch every game, right? We give our opinions, but just because you sit at home and just watch one game every once in a while and criticize it, those are the guys that I go after.
Listen, at the end of the day, all that matters is just 6 more wins. 6 more, and then we can ride off into the sunset.
On a duck boat. There you go. He's Barstool Greenie. Check out all his work. Appreciate you, Greenie. Thanks, man. We'll catch up maybe in the NBA Finals.
Listen, from your lips to God's ears, I'll tell you that much.
All right, appreciate you, Dan. Thanks so much, man.
All right, guys.
All right, it's Stool Greenie, everybody. Wonder if they got those shirts in 4X.
That's a terrible call. That is a terrible call.
Man, Tommy and Mike. Can go out with a Mike Gorman. Oh, that'd be
The Celtics played a terrific game and really didn't get a call tonight. Did not get a call.
Celtics went to the line 25 times.
Hey.
LeBron went 22.
Ooh.
I'm so tired of watching that guy.
Controversy. I'm so tired of that puckhead. It's Memorial Day weekends, guys.
You think we get like a Do It for Mike shirt, in the finals or something? I'm surprised we haven't seen that yet.
I had a Let's Gorman. I don't know why. I don't know why I had that in my brain. I need to create some Joey merch. Maybe I'll start with...
The chat is very infatuated with your hat tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I have it's a Patriots hat. I don't know the term to use for it. I say murdered out.
Yeah, it's a blacked out hat. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. But like when I go to Lids, that's what they tell me.
Murdered out.
I didn't say. I'm not the one who claimed that saying. You know, there's like a shirt that people wear that's really just called a tank top, but they call it something else. I didn't claim it that. What's going on in the chat? My hat?
Yeah, people were wondering if you were pulling like a Tony Romo, just wearing a plain black hat.
Nope. The reason why I'm wearing this hat, is because I need to shave. I need to shave, everybody.
Oh, I went to the barbershop today. It was slammed.
There was no shot.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend, yeah.
And it was really hot, so I got a Patriots hat on. I'm not a plain black hat front brim guy. Let's go to the Sports Hub headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Eastern Conference Finals. Florida Rangers tied at 1 at the moment. The Wolves all over the Mavericks at halftime, 60-48. here, 98.5 The Sports. I love Joe Murray. Well, Cameron is on the line. Hello, Cameron.
Hello.
What's up?
So, I just wanted to talk about the Bruins for a little bit because I love the team. I love Boston, but I'm thinking if we're actually going to get somewhere and we actually want to do something and not be a team that chokes, we need to make some trades and get some good talent.
Yeah, who would you suggest there, Cameron?
So I basically want I love Allmark, but I feel like of course he'll have to approve of the trade due to his contract. But
yeah.
I would really like if we were able to get one of our better players and be able to get some good talent. I don't care who we get, but as long as we get something that's noticeable and not just another player.
What are you doing on a Friday night, man?
I'm coming back from a hockey game.
Oh, you play hockey?
Yeah.
What position are you?
I'm a left wing.
Left wing, huh? What town?
I play for a couple teams, really. I'm playing for a tournament team out of Maine right now.
Maine, huh? Some good lobster up there.
Yeah, I just played out of Warrior Ice Arena.
Ooh, how was that?
It was pretty good. I love the rink there.
That's cool. You're skating on the same ice as Brad Marchand.
And all the guys.
That's right, and all of them. When's your curfew?
I don't have one.
Good for you. So when I was a kid on Friday nights, we used to watch, for Family Matters. What's your show that you watch?
I honestly just go to bed because I get really tired.
All right, Cameron. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. It's a good kid.
From Maine. Could be an intern one day. It seems to be the pipeline.
Could be. On Friday nights, guys, I was Family Matters step by step.
You a Full House guy?
Oh, yeah. It used to. Sorry, yeah. It was. I can't remember my years now. Mr. Cooper was one of them. And then Saturday night was Snick. With Clarissa and Doug. Rugrats. Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was good stuff, man. We got the musings, Murray's musings, coming up next. And by the way, this hour of the sports is brought to you by Valvoline. It's an oil change. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your next drive-through oil change at Valvoline. It's an oil change. Now open in Weymouth, Canton, Bedford, and Natick. You don't want to miss the musings.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, Murray's Musings here, 98.5, the radio part-time for so long. I started in 07, right? So what year are we? Oh, by the way, YouTube's been huge. Ratings are high. Appreciate you all supporting us. So we're 1 year down.
I'll put together a little, year in review of the first year.
You know what would be great, though? Winning a championship in the first year. I don't know if I ever shared this story, but my very first show, I was a producer before I became a host. And I got my first show ever was in 2008, the Sports Blast with Joey Murr. It was the Tuesday after the Patriots lost the undefeated season. So, nobody listened to sports radio the next day, and then on Tuesday you got me. So, like I said, a year ago at this time, I was working with Fred in the morning, from the morning in the night chat. So I appreciate the support, everybody, and the familiarity. Appreciate y'all. But let me just say this. As a part-time worker all those years, Memorial Day weekend meant nothing to me. I worked on Memorial Day weekend. I took pride in working when everybody else was off. But I've learned something during that time. Memorial Day weekend is not the official start of summer. Hot take, right? It's just not a great weekend to spend money on. Like me, I like to go to the Cape, right? 3 days down the Cape costs you $1,200 or more. If you got a house, it's way more than that. So I don't put the money into Memorial Day weekend because the weather. The other thing is July 4th weekend. I love July 4th. I no longer spend money on July 4th weekend because the weather. We get about 5 good weeks in the summer. And I love the beach. I'm a beach guy. I like to wake up, get breakfast. I like to wake up, set up the beach, get my chairs out there, get them all ready to go, everything ready to go at the beach. Then I eat, or I eat on the beach. And then I get as hot as possible until I need to be in the water. And then I get lunch. Then I go back to the beach. Then I go to the pool. Then we go out to dinner. And then do party. So, not the official start of summer. This year, the official start of summer for me will be July 13th. That's when I will go on vacation. And I have picked that day as the official start of summer because it'll be warm. There's a big fire in the tunnel in Boston today, Skaz. You see that one? Did that give you PTSD at all? Didn't you?
I was not there.
Your car had an incident.
My car had an incident, but yes, I was thankfully not there.
We've come a long way from that, huh?
Yes. No issues anymore.
Tough year, though.
Oh, yeah. We had 3 cars in like a 6-month span.
The fact that we're here for 1 year and all the trials and tribulations that we have gone through, man.
Many more to come, hopefully.
All right. So last night, Skaz and I were sitting in the studio. We're watching the Celtics game, and Wheel of Fortune pops up on my phone. And so I go, Skaz, you got to see this one, man. So again, just so everybody knows, my original guess was Lick It the Best. Why? I don't know. But that was my answer. Because you can only know what someone's going to say when it comes to Wheel of Fortune, right? Remember the night I was at the scoreboard and I was having some technical issues. And so I was like, hey, Wheel of Fortune's on. And I was doing Wheel of Fortune on the radio. So maybe some of y'all have heard this and some of y'all haven't. This is too good not to play. So to set it up, a contestant, Africa. But he thought he knew the answer. So, Skaz, could you do everybody the favor and letting everyone hear what he thought it was? Mine was Lick It the Best. What do you think his answer was? Let's hear it.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it. Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No.
Can you just grab the... Can you got to do me 3 things? Can you just put it in the butt? Oh, wait, well, I'm sorry. What was it again? Did you just dump me?
Probably unnecessary, but
I got dumped.
Probably unnecessary.
I got dumped.
It's a reactionary. Yeah.
I got dumped. Wait, I'm sorry. What was?
I'm sorry. Yeah. What was that, Joe?
I want the what? What in the butt? I want the what? And I want the Pat Sajak no. So I want the original answer, the what, and the no. All stop. Play it one more time, whole full, and then play it again.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No. Right in the butt?
What?
No. No.
Right, in the butt. Right, in the butt.
Right in the butt?
Whoa! No.
What?
No.
Joe got dumped, only took a year.
That would not be the first.
That would not be at least this time I slipped. That is legend status right there. What do you think they did when he got off the air? Like, has anyone called this man today?
Oh yeah, he's definitely hearing.
That dude had to be on TMZ, right? All right, I got to hear it again.
Tavares, right in the butt? No.
What?
Right in the butt?
And mine was lick it the best.
Also no.
What was the answer again?
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
This is the best.
This
Yeah,
is the best.
That's it.
This is the best. Where did I get lick from? Or lick this the best? I don't know what I get.
Right in the butt?
Man, that was I
Right in the butt?
This is why the show still. This is why Pat Sajak and Vanna White still go.
Right in the butt?
No. We should save that.
No.
We should just save that.
What?
Oh my God, I can't stop laughing. My eyes, I'm crying.
Right in the butt?
What? No.
What?
No.
What was the guy thinking?
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
What?
You've heard the song What in the Butt, right?
Hey, Tosh, I remember it on Tosh back in the day.
Tosh, whatever. Wow, Tosh had a bunch of those. Oh my God.
No.
What did he? Like, you have the video, right? What happened? Can you play it and then describe what he does after he says it?
Oh, as soon as he says it, he just puts the buzzer down. He's like, nah. He like knew. You can almost hear the inflection when he says "but." He's like, I'm not sure about this one.
Right in the butt?
It's funnier and funnier.
No.
Oh man. Some guy goes, Adam, he goes, my wife just came out and thought something was wrong with me because I'm dying laughing.
No.
That's got to be a Memorial Day weekend. Hey, did you see this one? You know, you're with everybody, and it's like, hey, man, did you see this one?
Right in the butt?
What?
No.
Simply the best. What was it again?
Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Right in the butt.
You know they're just like hoping something like that happens too. Also, right is a 5-letter word.
I don't know anything anymore. So, dude, you know that, like, I know people who've been on Wheel of Fortune?
Aaron Paul, famously, I believe. Was on
yeah,
Wheel of
that's
Fortune.
right. Man. So I know people who've been on Wheel of Fortune, and, like, it doesn't play until, like, 6 months later. They were holding that one, huh? They probably got a repeat on tonight. So they were like, you know,
just play that one all weekend.
For a ratings boost, why don't we just play that one? Oh, Pat's retiring? Oh, man. Give it to me one more. Give it to me one more time.
Tavares. Right in the butt?
What?
No.
Funnier.
What?
Why is it so funny?
No.
Oh. Happy birthday.
Yeah, we got some good birthdays today, too.
Bob Dylan.
83 years old.
83. Going back right in the butt. I'm Bob Dylan.
I might see him this summer.
Really?
Yeah.
He's old, man.
He is old, but it's like one of those things. It's like, I almost feel like I got to.
My favorite Bob Dylan song is not even a Bob Dylan song. It's a Traveling Wilbury song called Tweeter and the Monkey Man. Tweeter and the Monkey Man were hard up for cash. But he's a guy that, like, have a head, baby, yeah. Oh, I can't forget about the We Are the World.
He's having a good time.
There's a choice of making. We're saving our whole life. It's true. We make a better day. Just you and me. Patti LaBelle, 80 years old today. She was on the last Wonder Years. Wow. Priscilla Presley, 79 years old today. Jim Broadbent, 75. Alfred Molina, 71. Kristen Scott Thomas, 64 years old today. John C. Reilly, 59 years old.
I got Tommy Chong, 86 years old.
Cheech Chong is 86, bro, and he's still smoking marijuana. He's got his edibles now. I love Chong. What my favorite Chong? That 70s show, right? He's very good in that. He like owns what a
like a video, like a record store or something.
I can't stop thinking of it.
Right in the butt?
I can't stop.
How about Roger Deakins' birthday today, Joe? He is the cinematographer for one Shawshank Redemption.
Hope. Hope could. There's a lot of. That Boggs and his friends, man. No, Joe, no. Stop. Look at that tall drink of water. You get busy living or get busy dying. Any other birthdays today? John Madden. Oh, that was a different John Madden.
Tracy McGrady.
Whoa. It's G-Eazy's birthday. Remember him? I'll hit it one time with a Bible.
No.
Okay. Man, Patti LaBelle looks good. I don't know. Any other birthdays? Anything else you care about today? Heavy D. Man, rest in peace. He did that, now that we found love, what are we gonna do? I got nothing else. Can we just hear it one more time, Skess, as we go into headlines here on 98.5 The Sports Hub?
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No.
WBCFM 91 bus from the Town Fair Tire Studio, the home of the Bruins, Patriots, Revs, and Celtics.
Come on, Maxi, step back. Three is good.
Boston's home for sports is 98.5 The Sports Hub, the Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Panthers and Rangers tied at 1, 18 minutes to go in the third period. Also, the Mavericks cutting the lead now down to 2. They trail Minnesota 75-73 2 minutes ago in the third period. And the Red Sox tonight hosted the Brewers, and they lost 7-2. Yay. Headlines, they are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray.
You want to talk sports? We want to talk sports.
Squeeze the chicken and open the mouth.
It's like we were meant for each other.
This is why you need us.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Because I went late. So I see you guys holding. But on the other side, we got to let you hear just another wild take of hate towards the Celtics. And it's not even about this group. It's about a proven group. It's about Larry Bird. We'll give you guys all that coming up next. The phone number 617-779-0985. I love Wheel of Fortune. We'll talk to you right after this.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray on the way. on the Sports Hub. Everybody knows Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
There's a guy in chat who goes, so what? He said, but. Like, dude, that is so funny. What's JP think about it? JP in North Providence. Hey, JP.
Joe Murray, 365. Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, have we named the show yet officially yet? I lost track.
I think we call it the Joe Show, but I think in title it's the Joe Murray Show, but we call it the Night Show.
Outstanding. Joe, all over the board. Been listening long. I had to call in earlier instead of waiting until midnight. Little leeway tonight, Joe, if we can. And by the way, please don't do that skit anymore. I had to pull over near the rest stop on 95 South just before Attleboro. Okay, Joe? You killed half your listeners with that skit.
Skaz knows where that is. The other night he's coming home.
Yeah.
He got detoured from Waze. Sometimes I don't trust Waze. You can't trust a Waze.
That stop's not fancy. The one in Newton's a nice one. You get your McDonald's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Different class of people. Anyways.
They charge you more at that McDonald's, though.
Yeah, you're right. Damn it. I sound like a cheap old guy. You're right.
But you know what? You could go down the street to Needham. No drive-through, but it's cheaper.
No, $2.99 for the Coke. Hell no. I just stopped at the one in Norwood. Got my $1.29 Coke frying.
Oh, I know that one near the Rojo Car Wash right there. I know that spot.
Oh, yeah, you banged it right off the 27 exit.
Yeah.
So, Joe, here we go. I'm a little fired up today.
Right.
It's a holiday weekend. First off, we know what Joe hates the most. Joe is out in the most. Potato salad, in case you do have a cookout.
Any salad.
Any salad. I know, Joe. That's a Joe no.
No, Joe.
Now, couple of suggestions. Andrea's Taqueria in Swampscott. Joe?
Been there. I used to live in Swampscott. It's great.
You know it?
Yeah, I know it. In Volo, my favorite pizza joint, Detroit style, is right there.
Joe, tacos, like $4 a piece, carrot cake, plantains. My dates went for half. I got the tacos. We walked the beach, drove down to Marblehead, looked at all the rich houses.
Yeah, man.
Went to Devereaux Beach.
Yeah. There you go. That's the move, bro. That's it. Hey, let's drive through Lynn. Let's go to Swampscott. And then let's go look at the nice houses in Marblehead.
You got it. Make dream plans, Joe. All day. Talk about looking like a big shot with no money, Joe. Every guy out there, you got to do it. It was beautiful. It was romantic.
It reminds me of Half Baked when he takes Mary Jane out on a date. You know, he's only got a certain amount of money, but the tacos are $4. Let's go.
We're doing Newport tomorrow. I'll be eating a lot of bread and salad, filling up, Joe.
I like the
big weekend plan.
I like the mooring. The mooring is very good. Very good little spot there in Newport.
Yeah, I'm going to see what we're going to do. So now I got a couple of huge requests, Joe. Huge. Okay. First of all, I heard Sean Silver's listening. Sean, can we have the Macho Man call in and tell us what he would have done with Backoff and Bennett, and maybe they'll get some ideas on the Bruins. We need since you've been on every night, no more Sean. We need the Macho Man tonight, Joe.
Listen, once these games end, I want Kendra here. I want Sean Silver here. I want to get Milliken in one night, Matt McCarthy. I don't even know who's on our bench anymore. I do know that Silver, though, is doing a show with Mark Dondero, and so since Sean is the golden child, we called it the Golden Sondero.
Well, Mark did come over from the dark side. So, Joe, a second request, please. Forget Joe Me the Money. Joe sings. Do the whole lyrics to Now That We Found Love. Please. The whole damn lyrics, if not Bismarck Key. Drop the whole thing, Joe. Forget Joe Me the Money. We need that.
I can
And the
do
last
that.
request.
But real quick, I know we have something in there. Because Ed Sheeran was at the Celtics last night, right? We'll go to break at some point to the Ed Sheeran. Because I think I did it. Because he was. Did you see him with his foam finger? He doesn't know how to wear a foam finger. You don't lift it up like a belt. You put it in your hand.
Oh, please. It's like cotton candy crowd. Give me some meat and potatoes like a Bruins crowd. Joe, the last thing, I got something for SummerSlam. two figures on the stage, one tall, one kind of heavy, wearing gray hoodies. You can't see them. All of a sudden, Andy Reid, Mahomes come in the ring. The hoodies come down. It's The Undertaker. And yes, Bill Belichick.
Oh! Yes! 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 Or I don't know if it would. Well, I like that. Undertaker and Belichick with the hoodies. Oh, yes. In.
All day long, Joe. When are you on again,
No,
Joe?
it might be better, though? John Cena and Belichick because Boston,
Yeah, but The Undertaker was known for the hood. Way back in the day, he wore the hoodies. You had the half-leather jacket with the hood coming up.
Hey, tomorrow there's wrestling on during the day.
Oh, yeah, let me try to pull that off. Sorry, we're not walking Cliff Walk or going down to the second beach. We're going to watch a little TV.
I got to watch it's Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia. I got to watch it this week. Sorry, hon.
Yeah, no. This one's hot. This is solar eclipse, Joe. She's hot.
Good.
2 months, we're going strong.
I wish you the best, JP. Thank you.
Joe, talk to you again in a week. Have a great day.
John has a grocery store take.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Random ass take for you, Joe. When you get back from the store with your condiments, if you're not using them, do you take the plastic off the top or do you leave it on? Because when you go to make a sandwich and then the plastic is still on the top, it gets you really pissed off.
So I experienced this, so I prefer to keep the plastic on until use.
I agree.
But it is
And then
annoying.
the other-
It is annoying getting the ketchup thing off and then whipping it out. Sorry. And then the other one is when you get a bottle of ketchup, you got to put a knife in there, or slap the 57.
Exactly, dude. And then the other take is, what's up with this Juju Smith-Schuster stuff? I hear that he might be out of here to make room for the rookies attack. Yeah. I'll hang up and now let you guys talk. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd trade his ass. The Eagles need help, right? Maybe the Chiefs. I don't know. TJ.
Hey, Joe. Thank you for taking my call.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good, man.
Good. Sipping on Cuba Libres and thought of this question. I know Greenie was talking about Kevin Garnett, about the injury. Makes me think, Kevin Garnett was really important for the Celtics in 2008.
Wait, do you call it a Cuba Libre over a rum and coke?
Yes.
Or a highball?
Yeah, I want to tell you the recipe for a Cuba Libre, believe it or not. Okay, so what do is you get a chilled glass, fill up with ice, 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice. Not the lime juice you get from the concentrate from the store, freshly squeezed. 2 ounces of aged rum, not the Bacardi, but the really good rum, and you top it off with Coke.
Thanks. I don't want a sports take. I just wanted that. Back in the day when I was SoCo Joe, we used to get a bottle of Southern Comfort, ice, and that lime juice that you buy at the liquor store. You know what I'm talking about, Skaz? Like the pre-made lime juice. And, man, we'd just throw that bad boy right on the rocks. Imagine just highballing in your 20s all night long. I can't do that anymore. I don't have that in me. Mac.
Hey, what's good, Joe?
How you doing?
Yo, I got a couple things. One sports, one non-sports. All right, first off, I'm watching this Timberwolves series. If they play the Wolves, Naz Reid's going to kill him. He just hits every shot. It's ridiculous. I don't know why or how. That guy scares me. He's like their Derek White, but far taller. Okay. Anyways, the other thing, I got a question. You have any sushi spots you like around here? Because I'm looking for some new places that will not run my wallet.
Well, sushi's, dude. I mean, come on, it's not cheap.
No, I know it's never cheap. But I mean, so many places you like.
So I think Kowloon has an excellent sushi bar. I really do. I personally don't love sushi. I have had sushi. I don't hate it. I just don't prefer not to eat it. Somebody else will like that. But you're in Boston. You know what's very good? Medford has a place called Saibar. Very good.
Okay, Saibar I've heard of.
Yep. Yoki is in Somerville or whatever, Medford, that little station landing there. That's all right. That's pretty good. Oyes up in Reading. Outstanding. But yeah, and dude, believe it or not, Market Basket.
Dude, I've had the Market Basket sushi before. There was one near me, and I used to go there all the. Dude, yeah, no, it's good. See, people give like crap to like supermarket sushi because they think it's gas station sushi level. It's actually pretty good. Like, it's not as good as the stuff you'll get in like restaurants. Obviously,
gas station sushi?
we need more of those. Like, you never heard of that joke? Never mind.
Wait.
It's
no, it's gas.
Dude, they actually do sell sushi in gas stations, and I haven't had it, but it probably tastes about as good as you'd expect.
Oh, I don't know now. I don't know.
Top headlines.
Yeah, Jeremy Conley with the background vocals there. Red Sox lose 7-2 tonight. They'll be back tomorrow. Panthers, Rangers tied at 1, 8 minutes to go. And a tight one. Timberwolves have a 2-point lead right now, 94-92 over the Mavs. 6 minutes to go. Headlines, they are brought to you by...
Felger and Maz are just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
Sorry, Team Drake. But I like 80s music. So a lot of people who started to watch basketball in the 80s, who were young kids, are influenced by the 80s, and they say, oh, no way anybody's better than Magic. Better than Larry Bird? Are you kidding me? Better than Jordan? Get the hell out of here. Those people, basketball influenced them. I watched 80s NBA. I watched 90s. I'm not saying I'm smart enough, but it's very obvious that the players today are vastly superior than they were back in the day. Folks, we don't do this in the NFL. We don't do this with airplanes. We don't do this with technology. Just about everything is better now than it was for medicine, technical advancements, workout training, regimen, diet, everything. It's simply improved than as opposed to 20, 30 years ago. So it's not that hot of a take to say, yeah, Luka's on track to be better than Bird. Now, I can't say he's better than him. And Alex, I know you would even blush. You can't. It's tough for me to say better than Larry Bird. But
not yet. You can't do that. Larry was it. It's like comparing to a Magic Johnson, Kobe. These are guys that are forever going to be some of the greats that brought the game to where it is. And it's what we do. You compare, right? When you have a young star rising up because you want comps, but it's a good compliment. Say he's like a Larry Bird. That's cool, but you can't say he's better than.
The things I can say is that I feel confident in saying is he's got more to his game than Bird. Okay. Because he was...
it's a different game now.
It's a different game.
It's a completely different game.
Larry Bird wasn't shooting 28-foot step-back three-pointers. Luka can do that on the reg. It's not
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports. We got two really good games in action right now. We'll keep you updated on those. Who was that? Who said that to you?
That was Jason McIntyre filling in for Cowherd, I believe.
So I actually kind of like him. Oh, I knew him years ago. So, if you felt a shift, that was the eye roll that I gave. Just say it. Don't teeter around it. Don't say can be better than. You want to imply that Luka Doncic is better than Larry Bird. That's what you want to say. Then you realized how asinine that is, and you'd backpedaled, and then you got called out. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this on Boston radio. I think LeBron James is the best basketball player I have seen since Magic Johnson. I think LeBron James has passed Larry Bird. That doesn't mean Larry Bird sucks. Also, do people realize what Larry Bird did for the city of Boston, for the community, all these things? They barely had a three-point line. The guys who've changed the game of basketball, Steph Curry, right? But the Magic Johnson-Larry Bird thing from the 70s through the early 90s, it was them. Other guys tried. Isaiah had a run. Some others did too. Hakeem Olajuwon, you name it. I just feel like there's so much hate around the Celtics that now it's starting to bleed into the 80s Celtics. And then they're going to get into Bill Russell days. I feel like the hate it bleeds deep. I'm sorry, but Larry Bird made so many other players better. I think Luka's an amazing player. He's young. He does not stay in shape the way Larry Bird did, though. Plus, I don't know, Luka's got to win 3 before we can even talk about it. I hate those asinine takes, though. Absolutely hate it. We got ourselves a ball game right now. 3 minutes to go in Minnesota. 100-99 right now is what I have. This has been back and forth. But this is what I had for a stat, so maybe it's changed. But Towns and Edwards are 8 for 32 shooting. Naz Reid is keeping them alive right now. Nice little player, comes off the bench, right? They just went up 102-99, 3 and change left. So the great Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns need support by Naz Reid, who I believe went to LSU. Is that right, Skaz? So that's who they need to depend on. So if they win tonight, I hope that the narrative is Naz Reid bailed out Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, LSU.
He's come a long way.
6th man of the year.
Yeah, no, I didn't think he was. I thought he'd struggle because he's a big, How's he going to adapt to the league? I don't know why, but I want Dallas.
Yeah, give me Kyrie.
You know why?
It's a good story.
I said this maybe 3 weeks ago to you. I put a bet in after we talked about it. I have Celtics-Dallas as a final. I think Kyrie's the final boss. I think that the Celtics players love Kyrie Irving. I think Jason Tatum looks up to Kyrie Irving from being a Duke family. I think Jaylen Brown hated Kyrie, and now they believe in a lot of the same things. He's the final boss. I think once they get past this round, he's the guy. If they can stop Luka and Kyrie, crown him. Oh, crown him. Crown him. Kyrie is the final boss for the Celtics team. You want to talk about easy paths or whatever? Them defeating Luka Doncic, who's compared to Larry Bird, and Kyrie Irving, who's won a championship before, who was in Boston, right? Was supposed to be the leader with these young players. He's the final boss, guys.
Yeah, and just on the Luka thing, never mind the titles. He hasn't won an MVP yet. And I love Luka. I think he's an incredible player. 5-time first All-NBA, which I think is a record at his age. He's incredible, but he's never even been considered the best player in the league, which is something Bird did multiple times, along with the titles. So, yeah, it's that time of year. People are looking for takes. There's only 4 teams left to talk about. So this is the stuff we're getting. But, yeah, it's gotten a little crazy.
When someone said it's like Michael Jordan, I went,
Yeah, once we got the Anthony Edwards, 22 years old, being compared to Michael Jordan, that should have put up the red flags.
It may have been Paul Pierce, but he said that Luka and Kyrie were the best duo ever. Did anybody watch Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan play?
Pretty good.
Did you see Kareem and Magic?
I think he said best offensive backcourt in his defense.
Oh, Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas were very good. Very good. They won multiple championships. Multiple. Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker were pretty good, huh?
Pretty good.
International Hall of Famers. Going to be probably Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
Everybody
have to
gets
be,
in.
yeah.
But that's just off the top of my head, guys. Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan were the best duo of all time.
Yeah, I don't even think that's debatable.
I don't even.
Jordan never won without him.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, did need some help from Scottie Pippen, one of the other greatest basketball players. Do you think back then they were doing think pieces on, did Pippen bail out Jordan? Did Paxton bail out Jordan?
Remember Tony Kukoc bailed out Scottie Pippen?
Is it Scottie Pippen's team? I mean, Jordan can't win without him. Just saying.
Just saying. Could be another bit for the summer. What are we going to do, man, when there's no sports on? This.
More Lowell seafood talk. Some Target salami.
What like a week, huh? Target salami.
We'll be bringing back Joey Summer hits. Don't worry.
Lowell seafood. Like, talk about things that just nobody ever looks for. And D. Leaper in our chat worked at Bickford's. There was one when I lived in Stoneham. There was one right down the road on Montvale. It was open till like 2 a.m. There was one near our old studio. 24 hours, baby. Nothing like pancakes at 4 in the morning hungover. Anyways, we'll wrap this show up on the other side. I'm Joe Murray, and we'll tell you what's ahead next.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. We got to go. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back here on Tuesday night. I'm off for the whole weekend. Skaz will be here Monday, though. McCarthy's going to be here on Monday night.